What's up, guys? We just got back from CoreTCG. Their case tournament event went really well. We went undefeated in Swiss, got first place after Swiss. And then moving into Top Cut, we got top 8. And then top 4, we decided to split. And we're the only undefeated left in Top Cut, which was really nice. So we took it down with Fire Lorraine. It was the deck I was the most comfortable with. I've been playing it since before Alter release, so, it was really nice. The reps paid off. And really quick, just want to do shout-outs. Shout-outs to the Vegas boys. We got to make a name for ourselves. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more tops from the Vegas boys, so get ready for that. And also, shout-outs to everyone at CoreTCG. They're all really, really nice. It's nice meeting people from the Discord. It was just really cool. Their community is awesome over there. So yeah, just let's get right into the deck profile. So starting out with the allies, we're playing 4 Dungeon Guide, 4 Hasty, 4 Flame Rune, and 4 Honorable Vanguard. So Dungeon Guide is the card we're trying to cycle for. Like we're playing Fire, all these draw spells. We want to be seeing Dungeon Guide. It's the best power play we have. 4 Hasty. Don't forget that when you play Hasty Messenger, there is no opportunity for your opponent to play anything before you declare an attack, and you get the effect of Hasty. So like the burn spells, Sparkle Light, they won't be able to take care of Hasty before you get value out of it. Flame Rune, don't be afraid to play this on your turn 1. It just puts your opponent in a really awkward situation. It's pretty nice to play. And 16 allies in total. I like 16 as a number to always see one live for cremation, but you're not playing super hard into like a Lorraine level 2. Cemetery Sentry is something I was considering playing. It's a really strong card, but I ended up opting not to play it, just to keep the ally count really low. Now to our consistency cards. Playing 4 Creative, 4 Cremation, 4 Idle Thoughts, and 3 Inspiring Call. So Creative and Cremation, it's the reason you play Fire. And then Idle Thoughts, I like it as the added consistency and the added floating. It performed really well. And then Inspiring Call overperformed. I really should have played 4, and this card is insane. So people are definitely sleeping on it. Just being able to get the cycle is everything that Fire is already trying to do. And it applies a lot of pressure because it gives you the +1. And just putting yourself 1 deeper into your deck and putting your opponent's life 1, maybe 2 lower is exactly what you want, especially at a 1-drop. It's really strong. I highly recommend playing it. Now, just for some floating memory to go with the consistency cards from before. It's nice that it's a 1-drop. It's nice that it's a Fire. And now onto our attack cards. So we're playing 4 Savage Slash, 3 Flame Sweep, 3 Rending, 2 Devastating Blow. So Savage Slash is very good this weekend. So the lineup for the fire attacks being 3-3-2. I honestly think I should play another Flame Sweep in the main and take out a Devastating Blow. Devastating Blow kind of underperformed. It's just only really good into very specific scenarios where you need to do a lot of damage with 1 hit. Otherwise, I feel like Flame Sweep is pretty valuable, and Rending Flames just kind of does the same thing, but usually easier because you can play it earlier in the game before they're drawing into their defensive cards. Although Devastating Blow isn't like the worst, it's nice to have as a 1-of to dig for it, just in case you need it, versus like a Veiling or something. And then to our flex spots, so 2 Deflecting Edge and a Blazing Throw. Deflecting Edge was Spurned Ash for quite a while, and I changed it. I really like deflecting in the main, and I'm glad I did play it. It's just really good into the Fire Lorraine mirror as turning down the Rendings, and it's really good. Blazing Throw, it's nice that it's a 1-drop, and 4 damage is a lot. It's really good to help finish your opponent off. No one really expects it, and just having it as a 1-of, it's not something your opponent can really prepare for. So if they see it game 1, you're not likely to see it later in the match. So if they're trying to play around it, like, they're usually wasting their time, which is nice. And you could play it at more than 1 if you wanted. It's just you would never be able to activate more than 1 in a game, like reasonably. You'd have to be so far up. So I just like the 1-of. It's nice when you see it, but it's by no means mandatory. And now to the Crux package. 4 Ascension, 4 Infusion, and 2 Spirit's Blessing. So Ascension is like, it's the reason we're going to 3 so fast, because we just don't really neg when we play this card. We just get all our advantage right back. And then Infusion, it's really strong, and then if you see Dungeon Guide, it's broken. It just ends the game on the spot. But Blessing honestly underperformed, because it's honestly really hard to make this card very profitable and to go for a really big sweep with it. I feel like by the time you have enough cards to do this, or if it's like you grab the sword off of your level 3, and then you have to sword again the next turn, it's like, it's just not as valuable. You have to have more floating. Like, it's just rough. I think I would honestly play like Crux sites over it, just being able to recycle the Ascensions. But at the same time, I don't really like Crux site, because if it's the only thing you see, it's just a draw one, which isn't the best that late in the game. Alright, now onto the material deck. So obviously we're playing the Fire and the Lorraine stuff. Playing Spirit Ruler just because we want to be grabbing our Drawn Blade and turning on our Ascensions. It's really good. For our swords, we're playing Seeking, Adversity, Drawn Blade, Warrior's Longsword, Avarice, Prismatic. So Seeking for the 2 durability, Adversity, it honestly comes up quite a lot. I was really surprised. This is kind of a later addition that I added. I really like it. Being able to go level 1, grab that, go Rending Flames for 10 super early in the match, it's really valuable. Drawn Blade, broken. Warrior's Longsword didn't come up all weekend, so I'd honestly be fine cutting it. There's a couple things you could play. Majestic Spirit's Crest didn't really come up. I don't really know what I'd put here. Like maybe Blinding Orb if you're afraid of like a combo deck, or Choking Fumes. It's something like that. And then Avarice, Prismatic Edge, they're broken. They're the whole payoff for going into level 3, and they make your Ascensions insane. And then the last 2 is the GCR and the Orb of Regret. Just consistency tools. And it's honestly, it shows how busted this deck is. The fact that it sometimes won't even go into the GCR. Like, it's crazy. This deck is really fast. And now onto the side deck, which is what I feel like is the worst part of my deck list. There's kind of a lot of things I would change. So 3 Sparklight, 2 Spurn, a Deflecting of a Rook, and a Nullifying. So Sparklight was kind of, oh, I'm going to finish the game with it, or pick off allies if I really need to. It didn't quite work out like that. I sighted in only a few times, and when I did see it, I opted not to play it. So underperformed. Spurn to Ash, I feel like underperformed both for me and when it was played against me. Because a lot of people are talking about how you go Lorraine level 1, bring out the sword, and if you Spurn to Ash it puts them behind. But in the mirror match, someone Spurn to Ash me, same thing, level 1, and it wasn't that valuable. They had to choose between Spurn to Ash or Rending Flames. And honestly, the Rending Flames would have put a lot more pressure on me, and I'd have to play super safe. But since he did Spurn, I just kept digging. I drew in a Dungeon Guide, went to 3, got my sword back, and then I just Ascensioned, and it was crazy. But if he had gone for the Rending, I would have had to play safer and not blown all my cards on a Dungeon Guide, and maybe not gone for the 3 and killed him. But you never know. Deflecting Edge, the 3rd one, I like it. I'd probably play another. I play the full playset in the side, so I like it a lot. Varuk, I don't know how to feel about this card, because I feel like if I had another copy, that's why there's only one, I only own one. If I had another one, I probably would have played it, but it didn't perform that well, so I'm not sure how I'd feel about it, honestly. Nullifying Lantern, it's really good versus like the burn decks that are extremely aggressive and they don't plan to hit level 3, but into Fire Lorraine, they don't care enough. You don't want to skip a materialization step to just blank a Rending Flames that they might not even have, so you just got to be careful with stuff like that. And yeah, if I had to redo the side, I'd put 2 Deflecting, maybe keeping the Spurns versus some matchups, and then the Nullifying, and then I'm not sure what else I would play. these cards definitely underperform the Sparks and the Varux. But yeah, that's the deck list. So I really like the deck. It's super fast. There's lots of stuff you can do with it. So it pays off to learn how to play this deck. So I highly recommend it. Get your reps in, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.